Okay, so this is Artcasters Chat 4. Welcome, everyone.
Hey, Peter.
Hey.
Lost it. And I'll mention at the top of the show, we just spent quite a bit of time trying to invite everybody from the Artcasters group that said going or maybe. It's very important that you come out to the Google Plus page and say yes to watching. So not only can I see you there, but I can see your specific Google Plus profile picture. It's important to have a profile picture because I'm coming up with multiple names. In a lot of cases, and nobody has pictures, and I can't tell the difference. So if you want to get into one of these hangouts, then that kind of stuff is important. And I do have a topic or something I want to start with, but we'll go do a roundtable, even though most of us here have been on an Artcasters chat before, but starting from the left is Jeff.
Want me to introduce myself?
Sure.
Hey, I'm Jeff Lafferty, jefflafferty.net. I don't know, I started the Artcasters Facebook group, so go for it.
And then we have, yeah, and then we have Joannis, who doesn't have a functioning mic, but is just hanging out and watching and listening to us. So welcome, Joannis. And then we have Scott.
Hey. Are you going in order or you skip Sid? At least according to my screen.
Well, everybody's screen is going to look different. I'm just going by mine.
All right. Yeah, I'm Scott Serklin. You can find me at serkworks.com, SERKWORKS, and I do a lot of retro future sci-fi illustration, kind of graphic-y, design-y illustration for that. And I also do comic books. I've got a book called Young and the Dead, and I'm doing the 100 Days of Making Comics where I talk about that, and I'm on, I think Peter and I are on the same day. What are we at, like 48?
I just did 49, so I'm actually a day ahead of you.
Maybe I'm a day behind you. Yeah, so yeah, I'm doing that. I don't know how you find me on. I guess I'm just Scott Serklin on YouTube or whatever, or Google Plus or whatever. So.
Yeah. Then there's Sid.
Yeah, Sid Lajeunesse. Still working on putting together a website, but you can find me on Facebook under Sid Lajeunesse or Sid Airbrush on YouTube.
And then there's me, Peter Palmiotti, and if you found this video, then you found me, so also everywhere else. And I'm working on getting a website under my studio name, humanartstudio.com it will be. So that will be set up in the future. And I want to start off with an idea I had. And this goes along the lines of, if anybody watched Jeff Lafferty's last video, I believe it was, where you said, hey, if you can promote this, I want to see if I can get better numbers off of eBay. And it's an idea I had where, why don't we make somebody, promote somebody for the week? And everybody involved can do their part to promote one person.
Oh, that's cool. I like that idea.
Yeah, this way it's more like, I'm sure almost everybody I know promotes other people. But if we really give it a focus on one person, would be the real focus of everybody during 1 week, then I think that could really make a difference.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. How would we pick? I mean, who's the pool of people that we're talking about? Like,
Yeah,
just-
I was
Well, I guess like we could choose amongst us. We lost Johannes. Since we made the effort to be here.
oh, I see. Yeah.
And just if everybody's cool with the idea, and I know it would potentially make a difference in what you're doing, Jeff. I would like to vote for you.
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to be the first one. Everybody already does it for me, so I feel like I go to the water hole too often.
I think we're going left to right, Jeff.
Left to right.
Well,
And the icons on the bottom of the page.
Oh,
everybody's
it's different on everybody's
is different.
Well, I don't know. You're on the way left on my screen.
Yeah.
Well, Peter already kind of started on his talking about Jeff, so I don't know. Maybe we can continue that, but I think more than just us four here or five, we probably want to somehow reach out to some other people that are doing the Artcasting or the 100 Days or whatever, and let them know about it.
I would I wish there was some way, which I thought the group would kind of pull everybody together, but I noticed a lot of the 100 Days of Comics guys, they don't come in there. Some of them have, and some of them haven't.
Yeah, I every once in a while I'll post something, but it seems like a lot of the people in the Artcasters, they're actually doing like live streams of their art, so I don't know. I didn't know how interested they'd be about people that are doing the 100 Days, because it's usually just talking about your process, and
Right.
you don't see a lot of like actual live drawings. So I don't know. That's why usually I'll post if I find something if I do one that's a little interesting, that's not just the everyday, here's what I did today, talking about it, then I'll post it on Artcasters. But
Yeah. Does that bring your hits up? Just out of curiosity, post it in there, or does it not?
I don't know. I think it definitely brings the hits up, because usually just certain videos, if I think that it'll reach a little wider audience, I'll go ahead and post it to Artcasters, and I'll also tweet about it, and because otherwise it'll just post it to my. Because anytime you post to YouTube, it also posts to Google Plus,
Yeah.
and I've got it set up to anything that I post to Google Plus will post to Facebook, Tumblr, and I think my old blogger account too. So, and then every once in a while I'll post to Instagram or Twitter and all that separately.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm up for it. I don't know how we organize it or whatever. We just.
If there could be, I don't know if there could be some kind of banner.
Well, we could.
Because there's like on
We
Twitter
can make
there's
it-
Follow Fridays, something like that along those lines.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways we can do it. We can just decide on somebody now and make a post about it in the group, saying, hey, this is something new we're trying. Let's promote this person, and if it works out, then continue it.
Sure. Yeah.
So-
Definitely, whoever we decide, and I think like Jeff said, since he did start the Artcasters, if we said we're promoting Jeff Lafferty today, I'm sure everyone already follows him on Artcasters, but maybe not so much on the 100 Days. And I know we've mentioned Jeff on a few of us have mentioned Jeff on those too. So I'm wondering if is there a wider network other than the Artcasters and other than the 100 Days just Google Plus in general, or what? I don't know. I think everyone has their network, and then they have other people too. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like there's the Artcasters, which is kind of like a group of people that are into the videos and stuff. But then there's like my whole Facebook page. I don't think all those people haven't came over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got in there. So
And that's not always going to be of interest to everyone. I post stuff on my Facebook page, and I don't know how many the people. Not everyone wants to watch somebody either draw or talk about drawing. It's not
That's
for
the
everyone.
thing. Not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, I know there's like 5, 10 people that see most of my posts.
Yeah.
And even though I have, on Facebook, I have like, I'm connected with 5,000 friends. 5,000 friends don't see everything I post or even a glimpse of anything I post unless they're looking for it.
Yeah, it's also Facebook changed all that too, where they're not
Yeah.
seeing every post.
So it's like, by throwing a wider net, all of us posting about essentially the same person and promoting, we can promote a specific thing or just a general thing, that more people would see it and show up in feeds and whatnot.
Nope, we got tech support there.
Yeah, Microsoft on it. Can you guys, Johannes, are you there? Can you hear us at all or talk to us?
Wave if you can hear us. Maybe not.
I guess not.
They're working on it.
So, but yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. I've kind of thought that a few times, with like some other people, just it's almost like trading links and stuff. I mean, me and you do it kind of, Peter, but I don't know, just some other guys that are trying to sell on eBay and stuff. I was thinking, talk to them, but I don't know. I haven't really pursued it that hard.
Well, that's a good point too, because there may be something specifically that you're trying to market at the time, like your eBay auctions and things. Which, if I didn't know any better, I'd just say, go follow Jeff Lafferty and not mention the eBay. Whoever we decide, there might be something in particular that we want to mention or whatever.
Yeah, that's sort of along the lines of what I was thinking of. If it's an eBay or if it's just a general store or you got a new book out or whatever the case may be, something to promote and get the word out about whatever. It would be a good way. It would just be a matter of how well organized can we get it together and really make it work.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys want to talk? Like, I'm always wondering how people are promoting. Anybody want to kind of talk about that at all? I'll share my stuff if you guys show me. Just tell me yours.
All right.
I'm still just learning.
Well, then I heard something there off of Johannes.
You're very low, but we heard you.
Okay, I can finally hear you guys, but
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
hey, thanks.
Much better.
So say hi. Well, introduce yourself. Tell us what you're working on, and give us a brief intro.
I'm a comic book artist, a digital artist, regular, good old run-of-the-mill, paints.
What do you got? What kind of stuff do you paint? Are you an illustrator or?
Yeah,
You working like-
anything that I can get my hands on. I was actually trying to, at first, just was going to show you what I was doing here because I've got my whole Wacom set up and was doing a thing, but I still am figuring it all out.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, maybe next week or something I can doodle while we're talking.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You got a website?
I do. You can find me at JWick, which I've been doing that for a long time, but I'm kind of taking a different approach to things. I'm going to do a comic book and do the Patreon,
Cool.
and try and build that and try and create a video presence out there as well, and do a couple, 3, 4 pieces of artwork a week, and try and sell them, I guess, on eBay or Fine Art America or anywhere basically that I can right at the moment to get my feet underneath me.
That's cool. I've never tried that Fine Art America. Is it any good?
My aunt, Sally Trace, does impressionist work and surrealism and a few other kinds of stuff, and she does pretty well. She and her husband is a painter by trade, and then she picks up the rest of the household income with her stuff. So.
Oh, cool. Like a house painter or normal, like an artistic painter?
He's a house painter, but I think he's like a high-end kind of guy. He's got a couple of clients that fly him to other countries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that? I think that Fine Art America, if I remember right, isn't that like a pay site though? Don't you have to pay something to be on that, or is it?
It's
like
not. We just started it. My wife kind of runs all the financial side of everything that we do, and I just I play with the kids during the day and make art at night.
Gotta give me one of those.
Yeah. She's a good girl.
That's cool. Well, hopefully it'll work out. I'm on Patreon. I like it. It hasn't grown as fast as I was hoping, but.
Well, I know that I've been kind of following you, Jeff, and I know that you have like, and I say following, but I say loosely. I've probably watched maybe 10 or 15 episodes. Or
you haven't watched everyone?
No, because I get really distracted when I'm trying to work. Otherwise, I would.
I know they're a monster of a.
Yeah, I was following. Who's the guy that does Monkey Mod? I was folling him.
Kevin Cross.
Yeah, and I got so deep into that, and I got so distracted because he's such an entertaining guy to, I mean, he's so animated.
Yeah. He might come on. We'll see.
He's a cool dude.
If you start talking about him, you might.
Yeah, really. Start invoking the ghost. Cool.
Well, that's really cool. But yeah, the Patreon thing. I was watching you, and you said that you had like a set goal that you've been aiming to reach. How do you achieve that? I mean, I understand that you've got followers and everything, but I mean, how did you even pick the niche that you're into?
What do you mean, like a goal on Patreon, or just like that goal I was talking about, trying to get like 500 hits to my eBay auctions? That was kind of like something I said last week.
Yeah, I think that was kind of
that was just something that I don't know. Whenever I was doing more art and selling before I kind of quit my job, I kind of got on this kick of really like promoting my auctions hard, and I got them up to where I was getting like 500 hits, and my prices kind of went up, and so lately I've been kind of running around like 250 or something. But that's the thing, is like, you can drive that much traffic to your auction, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. It's got to be people who want to, bid and buy or interested in some way. So, I don't know. It's not going to work for everybody. That's just kind of like something that I thought that if I could, get my numbers up with the people that I had, then I thought my stuff might sell a little more. And also, since I kind of did a few fantasy pieces, I want to do a few more of those. I was kind of thinking that, it's not exactly what they've been buying, so I kind of wanted to bring in as many people as I could, just to make sure that there was, people that were maybe interested in buying the stuff that's up now. So it was just kind of an arbitrary goal, but I thought, well, I think I can do it, but I don't think I actually hit it on this last auction. I put up like a 3-day auction. I think it was a little too quick for that. So. But,
hey, Jeff, how many people find you just based on the subject matter? Like, say, if you do a Boba Fett print or something that are Boba Fett fans that may not even know you, or how many people on eBay go there because they know who you are and what you do?
I wish I knew that. I really don't. I mean, I do track my links from Facebook and my site and all that kind of stuff, so I can kind of tell. The majority of them, I'd say like 3/4 are traffic that I send there.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but the thing, like with my prints, I don't usually promote my prints in any way. They just kind of sit on eBay and just do whatever they do. So a guy could come in through one of my links, go to one of my originals, and then kind of go around and look at the prints and buy one. But I think that usually when I have like quite a few prints on eBay, that's well, there's one guy that bought one. Thanks for buying that, Sid. I appreciate that.
That one's going to the framers this week.
I missed it.
Oh, you missed it?
Yeah.
Watch the video.
It's
that's
got
awesome.
Oh wow.
I love that.
That's it's one of Jeff's 11 by 13 by 19s.
Wow, it's huge.
Awesome. How much you sell those for, Jeff?
Way too much, but I bought it anyway.
$20.
That is not.
No. Go ahead, Jeff.
All right, thanks. I'm derailed. I don't know where I was at. Well, no, that's what I was going to say was the prints. I think that like the people who buy prints on eBay, even though obviously Sid bought one, I know him. That's really the kind of the net that maybe catches people that are like looking for sketch cards or prints or Star Wars or like the keyword kind of searches. But if I tell you, like even now, if I just put up an eBay auction, I probably wouldn't get more than 20 or so hits with it just sitting on eBay with no promotion. So.
Now, what do you mean by promotion? Are you running that on like your Facebook or your Patreon, or how do you promote that? I mean.
Well, no, I'll give you the whole rundown because it's like. I kind of have like my routine, which is like I draw. I try to draw a piece every day. It doesn't happen. If I'm working on a bigger painting, it doesn't happen. But ideally, what would happen is I get a piece done, and then the video is promotion. Really, people who watch the video see me painting on there, and get interested in what I'm doing. So that's like the first thing. Then I post the video, and also the video is a way to, this is going to make me sound like I'm just completely. Calculated and out there trying to, I don't know, spam everybody, but I'm also trying to sell stuff, so I guess, it evens out. But when I put the video onto my blog, you know what I mean? And then when it's up on my blog, I send my blog out to like Facebook, Twitter, what else? Google Plus, and then I also do Tumblr. I stick it on DeviantArt. I've been actually trying Reddit, which is kind of surprisingly sending me traffic, which is really weird. I don't know if anybody's going on to an auction. I wouldn't put an eBay auction on there. That's one where you got to be really careful about spamming because there's like a bunch of little ants that'll just attack you, if they smell anything like that. So I send it, like I'll put a link to my site or something, or a link to my DeviantArt page. But that's the thing is like every one of those places has a link to my eBay auctions. So if they go there and they're interested and go on, But really, you don't really sell to people like that. Like the people that come in that first time, they're not really going to be the ones who buy, unless you just get lucky. The guys who buy are like people who kind of hook in and want to, you know what I mean. They get in to be a fan, and then all of a sudden you do a piece that lights their fire, and then they go buy it.
Right on.
And you're also promoting on your Patreon.
Well, yeah, that's true, and Patreon makes money, which that's like a double awesome deal right there. I put the video on Patreon.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if there's any way on Patreon to promote outside your circle of patrons.
What do you mean?
You know, other than like going on to other patron pages and maybe seeing if there's free videos and commenting on theirs.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
You
Um,
might kind of get some traffic that way, but no like forum. I don't know. I haven't really researched it that much. But.
I mean,
That is
honestly, I hung out there and was checking a bunch of people out. I think that may have been even where I found you, Jeff, originally. Was that I was just like, I stumbled upon your Patreon and I was like, hey, this guy's awesome. Let me go over here and watch a bunch of his videos.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there is like, that's the thing. Patreon is tough, and it's hard to tell what's going on there because you can't see the numbers of who's coming in, how many people are hitting your site or your page. I don't think anyway. And you know, I do notice, like, if you post, like, since I started posting daily, I definitely noticed my numbers went up. They're not very high. There's only 15 guys right now, which is awesome, but, you know. But if you post, like, a lot, like, daily, there's kind of like a role, like, when you do a search on Patreon for, like, art or something, it doesn't really just pull up everything. What it does is it kind of pulls up the newest stuff. So it's just kind of like this role of, like, the newer art videos or art producers or something, you know what I mean? Or if you did comics, it'd be like the newer comic guys, and then you just kind of roll down this giant roll. And I've noticed, like, since I've been doing it, you know, more often on there, like, you know, 5 days a week, then it's like I'm usually at the top of that thing. But I don't know if that's, you know, Patreon's another thing where it's like, I think it's a hardcore fan thing. You got to build up those fans before they even think about getting on there.
Yeah, I don't see much benefit to being on the front page if nobody goes there.
Yeah.
And there's no way to tell if people are visiting there or not.
I know. The only reason I thought maybe is just because of the search, but I don't know. Maybe nobody's even searching that site. It's hard to tell. Like with Kickstarter, I know people will go there and look. You know, they'll search. If you're up at the front of that search, you definitely get more action. You know.
Do you just out of curiosity, do you pay for the? I don't know if anybody knows. Do you pay to get up top there, or is that just trending wise?
You mean on Patreon?
Patreon or Kickstarter, I guess.
No, you can't actually. I wish I could have paid when I ran my Kickstarter because I couldn't even get close to the front page. But it's like they just, you know, with Kickstarter, it's if you're starting to get popular, you're starting to make money, they'll stick you up there. And with Patreon, it's really just posting regularly. But like Peter said, I don't know if it really helps. I don't know. The biggest thing with the Patreon thing that I've noticed that's helped is giving away that free drawing at the end of the month.
Yeah.
People are into that contest thing I'm doing. So. What kind of Patreon are you planning on running?
I'm gonna do I guess like just like painting wise, some watercolor stuff, and then I've got a comic book idea that I want to do, and I'm just gonna start it off, you know, right there, you know, kind of like I guess like a 100 days of comics kind of thing, but just like a video diary of from start to finish, or
that's cool.
You know,
yeah,
beginning to making it or beginning to fail or whatever it is going to be. You know,
that's hard to fail on video. That's usually what I don't want to do.
You'll be surprised. The more you do it, the better you get. Because if you I look back at some of mine, and I get more comfortable every time I do it. So yeah, I would highly recommend doing the 100-day challenge. Because I'd like to see it keep going though, even as some of us start to wrap ours up. If other people join in and just can keep perpetually keep going with new people joining in, and so yeah, really think about that.
Yeah, I've seen a couple.
I can't imagine doing 100 days and then just stopping after 100 days. That's such a big commitment.
Well, it's like, yeah, because like Kevin, you know, he's not going to stop, but he's going to slow down a little bit. And I think take a little more time and do something, you know, with a little more maybe production value or whatever. I don't know, but I mean, I'll probably do something similar because It takes, at least for me, it takes a while because I mean I didn't have a whole lot of, I didn't have anything hardly on YouTube before, but I get more people subscribing every here and there, and it's slow but it's steady, and so I'm just going to keep it up. And I realize you got to realize this stuff takes time. I mean, usually it's you ask anyone who's got a successful webcomic or whatever, it's because they've been doing it for a while and they don't quit. They just keep going, and that's what's going to kind of build your fan base, whether it's YouTube videos or whatever you're doing. So it's just sticking to it.
I think having a daily show 7 days a week is a lot to ask of an audience, unless each video is really short. I know I randomly do longer episodes, but try to keep them relatively short most of the time. But like to be ongoing, like I can't imagine going on doing seven days a week for a year. That's just too much to ask. So Kevin's got the right idea. He did the 100 days, and that was an event. And then he's going to do either a every other week or a weekly show, and that will be that. It will be a little longer than he was doing, and it will be probably more produced and just from start to finish better content.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I know that's what he's going to do, but do you notice, because I used to do that. I used to do a show, every couple of weeks or something, and they'd be edited, and I would, record some audio, and I'd cut out all the boring stuff and the ums and all that kind of stuff, but I haven't, those never caught the attention that, just the hour-long ones where I'm just blathering about I don't know what, you know what I mean? I mean, I agree. It doesn't make any sense that somebody would want to listen to that much stuff, but it seems like that's the ones that people want. And when I do short ones, they bitch.
Honestly, I've thought a lot about that, and you get to know somebody really well. It's it's kind of like standing there talking to somebody, because I did construction for a bunch of years, and the two of you are standing in a room and painting. Mm-hmm. You got nothing better to do than just to let it all come out. I mean, it's almost like listening to Rush Limbaugh or somebody.
Right.
Not that I'm a religious Rush Limbaugh listener, but
No, I've been in construction too forever, and I know what you mean with the talk shows, and also with the guys I work with. You hear all their freaking stories, and you tell them all your stories, because you're just bored.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. It's like human nature. You're being more human, and I think that's also one of the reasons why people connect with you. Aside from the fact that you're a talented artist, you're also, for me, I'm learning, but I'm also learning about another human being, and you can just relate really well to that.
No, I agree, actually. I think that sells more art than being a good artist, really, but I don't know. It's not all about selling, too. So.
Story is everything.
Story is everything. And, Peter, I've thought about trying to really, crank it up and get rid of the background noise and do them better and edit and all that kind of stuff. And every time I do, it's like I watch them back and I think it's worse. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I agree with you, but then I disagree with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll change my opinion tomorrow anyway.
I would say that, and again, I don't know what Kevin's planning on doing. I just speaking for myself, what I imagine that I'll probably do.
Are you going to quit or two? Scott, I was going to actually ask you that. But then
I don't know if I
can quitting.
Do the 100 days. I don't think production value is the right word, because that stuff takes editing and everything. That stuff just takes so much time. I mean, but I think just a more concise show, like when you go in and you have a little more of a, you know what you're going to talk about, and maybe even take some notes or things like that, instead of kind of at the seat of your pants, just kind of every day, just turning the camera on and trying to make a topic. So I'd like to think about what I'm going to talk about, and I'm not going to edit all my ums and things out like that. That's just it just takes way too much time. But I think no matter what you're doing, if it's long form or if it's like a short every day, you know, kind of like what a lot of the people that are doing the 100-day challenge are doing, I think I mean, it could be the same audience in some cases, like, because I'll watch Jeff's videos and then I'll watch other ones that are a little shorter. But usually when I'm watching Jeff's, it's more while I'm working and I'm looking, because
you don't watch them.
You don't have to watch. You paint the whole time because it's a slower process. But you can glance over every now and then and see the progress and listen to you. Whereas mine, since I'm not showing any artwork, I mean, I'll just hold up artwork that I've done, but I'm not showing you the process. And I do want to. That's another because I want to add more things too. You know, it may to be to the point where maybe I am releasing almost, you know, a video a day, but maybe some of them will be something like the 100 days, and some of them will be like a speed sketch, or some of them will be just like a live stream where, you know, people can ask me questions, or, you know, I can take requests from people that are watching on what to draw or whatever. So I mean, I'm just thinking, but I want to keep the YouTube content coming. So I don't know exactly what it'll be, but I think there's a different audience for everything, because certain things like I talked about this before, like podcasts, I like the ones that just go on, as long as it's a good podcast. If it goes a couple hours, that's fine, because I'm just usually drawing while I'm listening to them. But certain ones, like, you know, Kevin's, I'll usually stop and actually like watch it. I'm not just listening, I'm kind of watching it, because like he's entertaining and everything like that. Yeah. Certain ones I can kind of glance back now and then, and certain ones I'll just watch, you know. But you know, I guess it just kind of depends on your taste, but there's so many different people that are into so many different things. I think as long as you do a good show and it's the kind of show you want to do, I mean, that's what you should do, because people are tuning in for you, you know. Yeah.
And I've noticed that with like Kevin's shows, I'm the same way. It's like I watch his shows, like I'll like kick him on while I'm doing email, and I'm always kind of like flipping back to him and backing him up so I could see what he was talking about, you know. But then like with your shows, it's funny. I actually do listen to them, and a lot of times I'll hit it and it'll kick me over to that playlist, and I'll listen to like 3 or 4 of them. You know what I mean? Like the ones I just listened to like the day before. But by the time I get back over here, because I guess that's just the thing. It's like I work while I listen to podcasts, and I just treat these shows as the same thing. So
yeah, and like, so I mean, I would say I probably listen, if you're basing it on the amount of time, I'll probably listen to your show, Jeff, as much as I do other people's, but I haven't seen half as many of your shows because I'm always drawing. If I'm doing something I have to think, I can't have something like that on. So if I'm drawing, I'll put it on and I'll just let it run. But there's so many episodes I haven't seen. So, and I usually go by whatever, I look at the topic, like, and I'll look at whatever you put for your topic. And if it looks interesting, then I'll click on it and I'll put it on while I'm drawing. But then other ones that are shorter, I can you know, throw, you know, one after another here and there and kind of catch up with them. So it's kind of, you know, it just depends, you know, how much time I have and what I can ingest.
Now I have kind of like an open question. Where the hell do you guys get all this time? Seriously, I mean, like I feel like the editing process, because I've never done it. I feel like the editing process has got to cut into you know, your creative time immensely.
For me, it does a little bit, just because. I mean, I'll take my videos on the phone, and like I said, when I first started, I would put notes, and I'd tape, and I had a tripod, and I put my phone on the tripod, and I put little notes to remind me of things to say. And then the more you do it, the better you get, so you don't have to really even worry about that stuff. But the only real editing, like I created before I started when I went out, because I knew I wanted to look decent, so I went out and bought some lights to try to make the lighting look a little better, just cheap lights. I just did some research to see what would look good and everything, because, you know, if you're showing artwork or whatever, you want it to look halfway decent. And I made a little animated intro, and I did a little like work in the beginning, and then I just created a template, and like I'm using, I think, Windows Movie Maker or something like that. Mm-hmm. I created a template, so now once I get my videos, I plug my phone in the computer, and then I just once the files go on the computer, I'll just drag them and drop them right in the middle, and I got it where I can just change the name where it says whatever the day is, if it's day 5 or day 6 or whatever, I just go and change that. So it's basically that template's already there, and I don't do much editing other than that. Sometimes if I record like whatever happened in the day, and then maybe I've got another video where I show artwork. I'll just throw that right after another. But I just found ways to make it as quickly as possible. But you don't have to even do all that. I mean, it just depends how much time you want. I think Kevin said he does everything just on his phone, like probably an iMovie, and that's kind of what I had to do this weekend because I didn't have my computer. I did it all on my phone, and it seemed to work out pretty good. So, but yeah, I mean, you just kind of figure out whatever, gauge your time, figure out how much time you want to invest and what you want to do, and if you want to put some preparation ahead before you start it, like I did, that can kind of help. And then just use your phone and do whatever. I mean, try to make it too simple. Like I wouldn't like we were talking. I think everyone's pretty much agreed upon that you don't want to do a whole lot of editing and cut out your ums and all that kind of stuff because, I mean, I get maybe if I started to get tons and tons and tons of followers, then I might start like. Do you guys follow? Have you ever seen like Drawing with Jazza? You know who that is?
Jazza.
Yeah.
He's an
I
Australian
used to follow
guy.
him.
What's that?
I used to follow him.
Yeah. So I mean,
I like his stuff. He just puts up a lot of videos and.
Yeah, and he's like a good teacher, and he'll have a concise topic, and he'll show you how to do one particular thing. But I mean, and he's got to the point where his stuff is so polished. I mean, it looks like something you watch on television. But I mean, he's got thousands and thousands of followers. So I mean, if you get to the point where you can actually like, and he makes money, I'm sure, off of his YouTube channel. So if you get to the point where you can do that, then you would definitely think about making it a little more polished. But other than that, it's I mean, you're pretty much doing this for free and just trying to promote yourself. So whatever you can do, the easiest way you can do to make it look as good as you want, that's what I would suggest.
Yeah, it's YouTube. It's like a local cable station. You might find stuff that's really polished and professional, but normally what you get is something either middle of the road or really just some guy in his garage talking to you. So it's like if you don't need a lot of editing. Just get your point across is the main thing. And
do you even put it in an editing program, Peter, or do you just go like raw video straight up?
I do. I use the Windows Movie Maker. The only kind of editing I do is like I'll have a little intro, and then I'll have my studio name come on, and then I'll have the bulk of the video, and then a little end sequence. I'll put music in it. I put I make a cover specifically for it. That I consider a lot of work, but it's not really editing the footage kind of stuff. That's pretty much what it is. Sometimes I'll throw in some special effects, but that's mostly just, it's not really thought out.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of do the same thing. I stick it in Sony Vegas, but I used to use Windows Movie Maker a long time ago before I had that program, and I just, open up the last video and then pull out the old footage, stick in the new footage, and, stick the end where it's supposed to be and render it. It takes about I don't know, but then I also do it while I'm drawing too, so it takes about 30 minutes to do that part of it. And then I draw while I, make the thing, so I'm just doing the same thing I'm doing, but, But you're right, I know, making the thumbnail and stuff takes the longest, it seems like. But I don't have a job no more, so.
I don't even do that yet. I do want to look at doing like the custom thumbnails, but right now I'm just picking the one that YouTube will let me pick from like 3 thumbnails, and some of them are pretty bad, but I just pick whatever the best one is. But yeah, I should start doing the custom thumbnail, especially if I'm doing like a live stream or something like that. I have a question.
Oh, sorry.
Here. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but so when you do your, say like what we're doing now, and you're doing a live, like a Google Hangout, at what point do you add the artwork Like, can you add an intro to that somehow?
I don't know. That's
I could probably, like, YouTube has an editing portion to the videos. I'm not sure if I can like upload a portion, like a short sequence of a video, and install it in a video already on YouTube.
Yeah.
I might have to download the whole thing, then put it into the video, and then re-upload it.
Do you do you ever watch Comics Are Great with Jersey Drozd?
Yeah.
'Cause I think he does his as a hangout, and he's got all the bells and whistles and stuff.
I wonder how he does all
Probably
that.
has a whole
And
team.
that's on, like, if you watch him live, that stuff's in there. It's not added later, the music and stuff, so I don't know how he's doing that.
It's like I tried to email him once before because I had a question about something he was doing, but I didn't hear back because he's pretty busy. But so there's got to be some. I'm sure if I just YouTube it, I'm sure there's a way to find out, and that's usually how I find everything out. But yeah, that's something I would like to do. Have a real cool intro and do like a Google Hangout or a live stream drawing or something.
Well, the Comics Are Great is when he's doing it at the library, and I believe he has a team with him. I could be wrong.
Well, I know that. But he also does Lean Into Art, and I don't think he has a team for that. And I think he has. Well, maybe he doesn't have an intro for that. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, the Lean Into the Art does too. It does actually, and he does it at his house, with that other guy.
Yeah, but there's a difference between, like, sometimes you'll see two videos, and it will be the Lean Into Art, fresh off,
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And
Like
the
before it
polished
starts.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he trims the video down, and I'm not sure if he's adding the intro or if the intro's in both of them. But he's a lot more advanced than I am. So.
Yeah, because there's like whatever you would watch if you're watching live, and then probably what he shares with everyone afterwards. That, like, if he actually shares it to Facebook or whatever, or puts it on his website and all that.
Yeah. What about you, Sid? Do you use any editing program?
Have you seen my videos, Jeff? I'm a
I
cave.
remember the one where, like, the phone falls off. So.
Oh, yeah, well, I used my iPad, so yeah, the thing fell off the stand and forget it. Before I found a little stand to put the iPad on, I was actually using a shoebox and a piece of tape and the iPad leaning forward, and it was ridiculous. But yeah, I don't edit anything. I just kind of go straight from, whatever footage I've shot and just load it right onto YouTube. No intro, no ending. It's all freaking grunting and groaning.
That's awesome.
Oh, it works.
Yeah, a few people are watching, so.
Yeah, I like watching.
I need to do another one here someday soon. I'd like to do something more, though. I know I sit down at this table and I show the same things all the time. But, with the airbrush, I want to do, I'm getting ready to do a leather vest with a big yellow rose on it. Or a pink rose. I better not do yellow. I'm going to do a pink rose on the back of a leather vest. So I think I want to videotape me doing part of that, putting that as a new post.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I'd like to get my old point and shoot camera back, because I used to be able to take that out and go driving around with it and stuff. And now I shoot with my webcam, so I just feel locked to my table all the time.
Yeah.
What's everybody else use for a camera actually?
I use my iPhone.
iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just using the iPad.
iPad.
I have a piece of crap webcam. My girlfriend actually, she has a camera that you can take some footage with, but the problem is it like saves on a little cartridge that she could put into her laptop, but I can't put into my what is it?
Desktop.
Thing.
Yeah.
Desktop. I mean, this is the first desktop I had, so I'm still not used to it. But
Hey, me too.
So like, even if I took a couple of pictures with her camera, I have to like wait around until she has time to like upload it to her computer and then email it to me. So I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna be worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I used to shoot all my old videos with, like, I don't know, it was like a Luminex or something. It was just a little point and shoot, and it'd only take like 10 minutes of video.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like cut it all together, and spend way too much time editing, but I don't know.
I mean, the advantage would be like I would actually be in a different location, but
Yeah.
you know, I don't think it matters to people.
Does anybody watch that guy James Gurney's videos? I've been checking his stuff out lately. He's got some pretty cool ones. There's a guy who doesn't have a job and lots of time to edit.
What's his name? Gurney?
Yeah, James Gurney, the guy who did the Dinotopia books.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I know the book.
Yeah, I found him because he's doing like some stop motion stuff on YouTube, and then I like went around looking, and man, he's got all these painting videos about him doing, plein air painting, watercolor and stuff, and god dang, that guy can paint like crazy, and he puts up a lot of videos. Once I started following him, I just thought, oh, this stuff's probably old, but no, I mean it's like every few days he gets a new one up, so I was like, wow, definitely worth watching though. I invited him to the Artcasters. He didn't even email me back. He's probably too busy.
It's like, oh, it's that Jeff Lafferty guy.
Yeah, I'm not talking to him.
Don't answer this.
Don't answer the message phone. Yeah.
Well, I guess one kind of logic is like if you do enough videos, then that will take up all the time of people watching it, and they won't be into anything else, and they'll just buy your stuff and nobody else's.
That's right.
Hey, do any of you guys do Comic-Cons?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about it on some of my videos. But yeah, what was your question, I guess, before I go on about Comic-Con?
I don't know. I've got such stage fright, which is funny because I was a singer in a band for years, and now I'm like terrified of going out and dealing with people at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, what is that like? Like, tell me like what your first like experience with that was.
Yeah, because I'm naturally the same way. I don't like to go up to people and start a conversation, but I kind of put myself in this mindset because once you've got your booth and you've got your artwork and everything out there, if people walk by and you don't want to be a carnival barker, which I don't think, based on what you're telling me, isn't going to be a problem anyway. You're not going to be like, hey, go check out this comic book. I got this, do all this stuff. But yeah, once people walk by and if they look down, if they're looking at your work, then I usually, anything that I sell, I usually have some sort of real quick, like an elevator pitch or something to say about it. Even if it's just, oh yeah, I really like that. That's one of my favorite things that I've done. And you'll be surprised how many people are like, what, you drew this? And some people just don't understand that the people there exhibiting are actually the people that draw all this stuff. But yeah, so I just kind of wait, and if somebody, sometimes I'll just kind of stand, and if somebody makes eye contact with me, I'll smile. Just try to smile as much as you can. If they look like they have interest, just bring it up, and if they kind of like put it back down, and sometimes they'll do that. Different people are, some people are real shy, some people are, there's so many different people. Some people don't like to engage in conversation, so you just kind of, based on people's reaction, like if they sound like they want to hear more about it, then I talk a little more about what I do and everything. But yeah, it's hard to first start off doing that. Like I said, that's just not the way I am. But it's another thing when you kind of force yourself to do it, you get better at it. And it's like anything. That's another reason why I started doing these videos, because I mean I did a series of videos before where actually it was me showing how I was building my Comic-Con convention booth, because I try to presentation's a big deal for me, so I go all out when I do like my Comic-Con booth and everything. So I did a whole video that showed how I was building my booth, and that whole, there were like 5 episodes, and they were longer than what I'm doing now. But they none of them I was never in any of the shots. You could just see my hands showing all the pieces that I was putting together. And then finally I just said, you know what, I got to get over this and just start doing that, and it's helped a lot. So I mean, I know it's tough, but I mean, you just kind of take baby steps and you get better at it.
I know. I remember that first video I ever did. God, it was like the worst thing in the world just to talk and hear your voice on the camera. I was like, oh my God, I can't put this out.
Yeah.
I used to hate my voice. I mean, when I'm doing these videos, I'm doing a podcast.
I know you're doing crazy amount.
All the time.
If you're interested, Johannes, if you're interested in doing conventions and stuff, let me give you a couple things to check out, or one in particular.
Please do.
It's look for on YouTube. Look for Booth Bastards. There's a guy, Daniel Davis, and another guy. Trying to think of his name. He has a company. One guy has a company called Steam Crow, and he does like monster prints and goods and all that kind of stuff. And the other guy, Jason Rogers, has a company called Fezzorama, and he sells these custom fezzes that he hand makes and hand embroiders and everything. And they're really pros at doing these conventions. They do, at least 15 a year, and they make their living solely just on doing conventions. But they were doing a video, a YouTube show called Booth Bastards. They haven't really done one lately, but check that out because there's like tons of info and really good information on conventioning and tabling and all that kind of stuff. So,
are your videos? I'm sorry. I'm just kind of getting used to the whole, like I said, YouTube thing. So I don't mean to. But are your booth building videos still up?
Yeah, they're still up. If you go, I'm at Scott Serkland. It's SERKLAND, or Cirkworks, SERKWORKS. And I don't know. Are you still putting everyone's info on the show notes?
Yeah, I'll put everybody's info. Johannes, you might want to go to the event page. And put a link to your website or your main hub of any sort.
Right.
Because I'll have everybody else's. I have everybody else's information already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've been spending the past couple of weeks just building everything. So everything's still kind of blank, but it'll get there.
Well, if you want to promote your Facebook or if you have a YouTube set up, whatever.
Right.
I started doing conventions when I was young. It was mostly as a fan. I got in this business into the comic industry when I was 28, and when I was young, I was always quiet. But it's easier talking with people who love the same thing you love, and just because there's people standing in front of your table doesn't mean you have to talk about your book, or you can. It's an option, but I just like to say, hey, like to people who like come towards my table and like, hey, how you liking this convention? What's going on? What are you here for? What are you looking to see? Did you see that cosplay girl, or whatever? It's just really easy to start a conversation, and just relax, and they're your friends.
Yeah, I think I just did my first convention, a local one here, recently, and I think the thing to remember is that you're on the other side of the table, so they are already looking at you as being in charge. So. Oh
yeah. Which one did you do, Sid?
It was a local. It was a Albuquerque Comic Expo.
Cool.
It was a 3-day event.
No kidding, a 3-day con.
Yeah, it was actually real nice.
Yeah.
Had a lot of heavy hitters there, and the Artist Alley was just jam packed full of people.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, it seems to be a different.
Yeah. Sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
No problem. It seems to be almost a different game. I used to do cons all the time, and this last, one I went to in Denver, it just seems to be like ratcheted up like a a million times. You know, I did cons back in the '90s and then just didn't go for years. And you know, it's just the amount of people selling stuff at these things just seems to have, like, you know, quadrupled or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
There's just so many different artists there, and a lot of them are just selling prints of their work. They're not even doing sketches at the con. So.
Yeah, that was another thing. Back in the day, I used to always sketch. That was where I made all my money. And like this last one I went to, I didn't even have time to sketch, honestly, between just selling prints, you know. So.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of those Booth Bastard shows, Scott, that you were talking about. I hunted them out, and you're right. That's like just a gold mine of info in there.
Yeah, I wish they'd do more.
Yeah.
They're busy doing all the conventions, and you know they're just a mom-and-pop shop. So, I mean, they've got all these different products and stuff, and they do it all pretty much themselves. So,
I like that aspect of it, though, that they weren't just like, this is my prints or whatever. It's like, you know, they're selling all this kind of stuff. Some of the guys they've had on the show are selling all kinds of just weird stuff. It really kind of, you know, got my brain thinking about like a lot of the other stuff you could make and sell.
oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you got to think big, and one of the big things that they'll tell you is, because everyone sells prints. I mean, I sell prints. Everyone sells prints, but you know, there's people that are going to sell prints for a lot lower than yours, and then you know, in comics, and people kind of know the set price for a book. But if you're doing something that no one else is doing, you can kind of set your own price for that, and it's original. So I mean, you know, you know, you kind of want to stand out as much as you can. So I'm always trying to think of what else can I put my artwork on, and you know, I haven't come up with the perfect thing yet, but I'm still constantly thinking about it.
Yeah, totally.
Like, who was it? Somebody on the Artcasters I just saw today was doing paintings on light bulbs. Did you see that?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That was interesting. So
that's Chris Mason. Yeah, he's been doing that for a while. He actually gets some pretty darn good money for those things.
yeah, well, again, that's something that no one else is really doing. I always get amazed when I see people using mediums and things like that you just wouldn't think of. Like, I saw some guy that did artwork just out of Fruit Loops. You know, he would take Fruit Loops and make these awesome portraits just out of Fruit Loops. I mean, so
my kid just did that.
Something like that.
Every morning.
He tells me, "Look, Dad, it spells ooh." All right.
Yeah, I went to Chris's page, and there's like tons of different ones he did, and in all the different stages of production. Those are pretty amazing. The great drawings, but it's fake 3D because it's on a light bulb.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. It's like, I don't know if I would want to own one, because I know eventually it's going to break. But
I can guarantee you that he has probably shipping would be a bitch with that.
Oh, I know it, man.
I would be worried about shipping those things, but
yeah. I'm waiting for him to start doing like the new bulbs, you know, the twisty ones. Then I'll start buying them.
I wonder if you can find like plastic bulbs or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's like cheating. But.
Yeah.
So, let's see. How long are we going so far? That's 1:30. Okay.
1:30.
About an hour. Yeah. Well, it's 1:30.
So late, Peter.
I don't know, man. Actually, this is kind of early.
Yeah.
But it's been a long day. Is there anything, like, did anybody have any like serious challenges the past week or month you want to bring up?
I had a bunch of just technical problems the past couple weeks with like uploading videos and like to YouTube, and I know some of you guys have had that problem, and I just, since I'm new to it, I never had the problem before, and they just wouldn't upload. They would hover around like 90% and just wouldn't post.
Oh yeah.
And I wish I would have asked more people about it, because finally, you know, I was just freaking out. Like, I started this whole channel and everything, and now I can't. It's like useless because there's no way I can post it, because I tried different computers. I tried different ways of doing it. I re-edited my videos. I you know, I took the raw footage and rebuilt it and did all this stuff when I should have just stepped back and waited a day or two, and then it seemed like it got sorted out. So, but you live and you learn. So, and then I had people were ordering stuff from. They would place an order on my. I guess they'd find my website through YouTube, and then they place an order for like a comic book or something. And it was going to like an old store that I had. It was a big cartel store, which is just a company that does like web storefronts or whatever. But they unless you pay a premium, they only let you put 5 products. So then I found Store Envy. So I switched over, but somehow people are finding this old store, and I wasn't getting alerted. So there are people that ordered like comics like 20 days ago, and I didn't know about it. And that was also going back to because I had my website or my email was down one time, so I must have got alerted then, but I didn't get it. But then somebody else placed an order, else I would have never found out. And then I saw a few orders that were from way back, so I just contacted everyone and apologized, and everyone was real cool about it. So yeah, it's stuff like that, but I did find what it was on my website. There's the main link bar at the top has a store button, and that takes you to the new store. But then there's a little like a promo thing that runs across from my comic, and if you click on that, then there was a link on there, and that took you to the old store. So I found that, so I fixed that. But just stuff like that, and then I didn't get my domain name. I guess it lapsed, so my website was down for like 2 or 3 days because they had an old email on file, so I never got an alert from that. And usually I know around August is when it comes due, but I just been so busy with everything else I didn't think about it. So my website was probably down for a good 4 days, which sucked. But just stuff like, you know, after that first round with the YouTube thing, I just kind of I learned a little bit, and I just said, well, you know, what else can you do? Just didn't worry too much about it, but.
I can't believe everything you went through with that, like everything you did to try to make it work. And
yeah. If I would have known better, I would have just left it well enough alone and just waited it out. Because after that, I heard that other people have that same issue every now and again. So if you haven't had that issue and it comes up, just know that usually YouTube will sort it out within a day or two.
I usually, a lot of times, if it sticks there too long, like a couple hours, I'll actually just cancel it and re-upload it. I don't know. That seems to work for me.
I tried that dozens of times. So
oh, really? It just kept going back.
But it was also something to do with my channel, because I was able to upload it to my son's YouTube channel. Where he doesn't really have a channel, but where he watches videos and stuff, and it uploaded. So yeah. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, or go ahead.
I was just going to say the issue I was having with YouTube was it won't let me post anything over 15 minutes long.
So, oh, really?
Yep, absolutely. So even now.
I've heard people say that. Like I heard Kevin a couple times said that I got to cut it off because or else I won't be able to upload it. And I didn't know if that was like an iPhone thing or what, but like my old videos, I usually keep mine under 15 minutes, but my old videos when I was showing how to do the booth, those were usually around a half hour, some of them, and I got those to load. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just started stacking videos. Just started doing a beginning, middle, and end on them.
Yeah.
Did your YouTube channel like a new YouTube channel, Sid?
Oh yeah, very new.
Because I think, if I remember right, like I think back in the day they had like a limit on all of us that we had to be in like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something, and then they lifted it. But I actually think that's like a new channel thing, and I think they lift that thing once they kind of see you're not going to just start uploading Gilligan's Island episodes or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that'll probably change.
It's just initiation.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah, I'd hate to be one of those do a half-hour video and then find out the darn thing won't upload.
Yeah, that would suck.
Because I don't have any concept of editing, or actually I've done some. Yeah. I think I've got like a Google editor or something on this thing.
You probably got something. Windows.
Oh, it's a YouTube editor.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that Windows Movie Maker is on most computers just for free, and that thing totally works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just picked up a new computer, so I might see if it's on there.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, I was looking for just the easiest thing because I wanted something as simple as possible because I'm not an editor. So, and it just took me a little while, and I was able to pick it up. So, yeah, it works pretty good. And now that I'm using over the weekend when I was out of town, I was using the iMovie if you have an iPhone, and that works. That's pretty easy to use too. But that cost, I forgot what it cost. Maybe like $10, $5 or $10 for the app for that.
Yeah.
It's pretty pricey for an app.
Yeah, but it's Apple, it's.
Yeah. That you were talking about Store Envy too. I switched my store over to Store Envy a little while ago, and I don't have all my stuff yet. I love Store Envy.
You can post as much as you want. They make their money some other way, or promotions, or like advertise. You can, if you advertise your stuff or something, but I don't know how. But yeah. So and they don't take a percentage of what you make or anything. So it's great.
Yeah. Well, there's a marketplace store or something also on Store Envy. If your stuff shows up in also, and if it sells through that like the open marketplace, then they do take a percentage, but it's real small.
I'm trying to figure out how to get more visibility on there because I had a guy who actually worked for Store Envy found one of my prints and bought it, and that helped in the beginning a little bit, but after that, so I don't know. I mean, there's people that know how to do that. I mean, that are huge on that. I mean, no one buys my prints unless they know who I am. But it'd be cool if I get it in front of people, and I use the hashtags and all that if it's something that if it's a print or something that somebody knows what it is.
Yeah.
But
Store Envy, I don't know. Go ahead, Peter.
There's forums. There's if you favorite other people's stores, sometimes that works in your favor and you get more traffic.
Okay, yeah, because it does have the whole social network angle to it. So yeah, that's probably it's just so hard to concentrate on all this stuff.
Everything's like a network unto itself, and
right.
Yeah, I've never had much luck with my store outside of just my customers. I can't imagine like anybody coming from the outside and somehow finding that thing, I don't know. eBay is different, but not not in a personal store on your site. That's got to be fueled by you some way.
Yeah, I guess it helps to kind of, I guess, if you can manage it to get your stuff out there in as many things as possible. Because I've got T-shirts on Redbubble, and then a company called TeePublic contacted me, wanted me to put some stuff on there, and of course they're like, "Oh, we know your stuff's going to sell and all that." And so it took me a little while to use their templates and everything, but I uploaded a bunch of T-shirts to there, and I haven't sold any from there yet. But it's up there. I mean, there's a chance.
Have you sold anything from Redbubble then?
Yeah, I've sold. I have most of what I have up there are like parodies. Like it's different from my Circwork stuff. It's usually because for a while I was going to like T-Fury and submitting stuff, and it's like mashups and things like that. And so I have one that's the one that's sold all right was. Do you remember the old Bugs Bunny cartoon with the wolf that looked like Wile E. Coyote and the sheepdog, where they go and they punch in the clock?
Right. Yeah.
I've got one that's like Freddy Krueger and Jason, and there's a tree, and the tree's got two signs, and one says Elm Street, and one says Crystal Lake, and you just see them from the back. They're kind of walking down this road, and they're kind of waving to each other, and they've got lunch boxes and stuff, and there's that little time card thing. So that one I've sold a few of those. And one was funny because somebody bought it like. And it's cartoony, so it's not like a horror type thing. But somebody bought one in like a little kid size.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I sold those. And what was? I'm trying to remember. There was another one that I've sold a couple of, but yeah, I sell a few here and there. And like right now, I've got a print like because I was submitting stuff to T-Fury, and I wrote a whole blog post about this because I kind of got pissed because. I would submit them, and I understand. When I started submitting that stuff, I expected to get rejections, and that's fine. But they selected some of mine to go to print, and so And then I did a bunch. I talked to their art director and everything. We did a bunch of changes to get it the way they liked, and then they just kind of sat on them for like 3 or 4 months until, like, one was like an Admiral Akbar, and it was like an old vintage ad, and it said it was for like mouse traps, and it says it's a trap, and it's like Akbar band mouse traps or a Womp Rat trap or something like that. It was just like an old vintage ad, and so I made some changes and everything like that, and it sat there forever, and then later I get this email saying, yeah, I just don't think this is as topical anymore, and that meme's kind of run out of steam. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you waited forever to print it. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, and then I had another one that they picked out. It was called How to Kill Monsters, and it was basically like a guide on it shows how to kill different monsters, like Frankenstein, fire, or pitchforks, and then it would have Jaws, and it would have the harpoon and the gas
canister.
Godzilla had the I forgot what the name of the thing was that blew up Godzilla, but all that, had all these different things. So that was going to be, and when I first presented, they said, we like this, but it looks like a poster. Can you redesign it to make it fit more like a T-shirt? So I did all this redesign, and then later they're like, yeah, we're going to print it, but we're trying out these posters now. And we want to print it as a poster and not a T-shirt. So, I mean, I was like, ah. But then they just contacted me last week, and I guess, and the thing with the poster was that you had to order a T-shirt, and it was like an add-on. You couldn't just buy the poster. But now they're doing where you can buy the poster, so they contacted me and asked if they could reprint that one. And I guess they said it's going to be out there for, an unforeseen amount of time where people can just go purchase it. So now I feel a little bit better about them because I might get some sales from that. So that's up there now on T-Fury. They're in their poster section, but I forgot what sparked this conversation.
Just selling on Redbubble and those kinds of places.
So I've sold it here and there, but that's what I'm talking about. It's not, and it's kind of like I'm sure with Patreon. I'm sure where you're at right now, you're not going to live off of Patreon, but it's something. It's a little extra,
Right.
And if you have enough of these little extra things, then maybe it can build up. So I was the reason why I brought that one up, because I've got the store in V, but there's also Etsy. Maybe that's something I should look into too.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah, that's another place that my aunt was saying that she does is through Etsy.
Yeah, it seems like you can, fit into Etsy, or not. I've always had a tough time selling on Etsy, but I have sold some, but I've never been able to get, like, a big following like I see some people. Some people just seem to fit in that, like, perfect. And
I wonder if they concentrate, because I'm trying to put my fingers in all these little pies. Maybe, I don't know if it makes sense to do that or concentrate on one. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if there's
concentrate
one.
on what worked, maybe.
Yeah.
Build on that. That's what I usually do.
Yeah, give it a year. Something's, all that stuff within a year, if you keep pushing away at it, it's gonna do something, right?
Yeah, sometimes. Some of that I've had, like, with Redbubble, and I can't remember which one I did, Cafe Press for a while. This was like long before I was even doing fan art and stuff, but I just had no luck with those sites. I did prints on DeviantArt and still have them there today, and I've sold maybe 2-3 prints like on that whole time. It just does, for whatever reason, they just don't move. I can sell prints. I sell lots of prints, but it's like not there,
I made 10 cents on
What?
DeviantArt. Selling a print.
Selling a print.
Yeah.
Like with T-Fury, I was hoping, because they had this huge network that
Might work.
I'm following some people that do a lot of T-Fury things, and they've got thousands and thousands of followers. And I'm thinking, well, with their, and at first when I was talking to their art directors, I'm like, well, I think, because it seemed like they were concentrating more on the people that always submit prints that people know, and I was saying it's kind of hard for somebody. It seemed like it's hard for somebody new to break into that, because for one, if they have all these followers, that's going to help drive their sales. So I said, well, I'm sure you guys know that, so you're going to focus more on those people that have all these followers, because they're going to sell more T-shirts. But they said, yeah, but the people who follow us outnumber any of these other people, and that's kind of how they got most of their followers. So they said that wasn't as big a concern as I thought it was. Whether they were just saying that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But so I was hoping that if I got a couple T-shirts going there, I could build a bigger fan base, and I just got too frustrated with it. But like, so now I don't know if they're going to promote it. Like, I saw another poster that they did promote. So maybe if they promote mine, it'll help drive the sales. But I only get like $1 for each one they sell, because they sell for like 11. And I've got a similar print, that same one from before I made all the changes that they requested, on my site, and I sell that for $20, and I make a lot more money off of that. So, you know, do I tell people to go to T-Fury and make $1, or do I tell people to go to my site and make quite a bit more than $1? So, I don't know. But
I think with them, it's kind of worth the risk, though, because they might, you know, if they start to promote your thing, it might go.
Yeah.
They do see that stuff around the net, so, you know.
Yeah, maybe I should, you know, go back. I really want to start doing more of my original stuff and not so much the parodies and things like that. Yeah. But I enjoy doing those too, because, you know, I grew up on Mad Magazine and I like to do all those. But it's just like it's so much. There's so much, because it's almost like spec work in a way, because you're creating something hoping that they'll buy it, and you know, I could turn around and sell it myself, but you know, the stuff I want to sell for myself is, you know, the robots and the zombies and the, you know, aliens and all that kind of stuff. So that isn't based on a, you know, pop culture reference.
Now, if you're selling it on Teeth Fury, does that mean that you can't sell it elsewhere? Is that what I'm picking up?
You know, I'm trying to. That you still own the rights, but I would imagine they have the right for the. I think they might have exclusive. I know what the T-shirt. I don't know how the posters work, but I know what the T-shirt. They don't want you to submit to anyone else if they accept your design. But it's only the T-shirts are like a daily thing. They put your design up for 24 hours, and after that, then it goes back to you, and you can do whatever you want with it. So the reason why they do that, because I'm sure they would love to own the rights to all that, but they don't want to deal with the hassle with any kind of possible copyright infringement, because a lot of people are, you know. I like to think mine is just parodies, but you know, some people just do straight up, you know, this is my version of this character or whatever. So I'm sure that they let you keep the rights. So if that becomes an issue, they can say, hey, we just printed it, we don't own the rights or whatever. We're not claiming to, or so. Otherwise, you know, anyone's going to try to, you know, that's the unfortunate thing. Everyone nowadays wants to. Anytime I do a job, everyone thinks they can own everything outright. And, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That is the thing about when you're, you know, and I'm definitely playing in that sandbox too, you know, with all this pop culture stuff, you know. It's, I don't know. You just wonder, I don't know, you want to play to your own stuff too, you know what I mean? So that you build fans for you, not just guys that are, you know, buying whatever.
There was a pretty good video that was out there not that long ago. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but you know, with the parodies, and I mean, basically it's illegal. You know, it's copyright infringement, and they can bury you for it. But why would they do that?
Well, with parody, it isn't though. With parody, it isn't illegal.
Parody or I forget the difference between parody and satire. But like, again, if it's like if you've read Mad Magazine, I mean, like. Or like a Weird Al song. I mean, he asked for permission to do this, but I don't think he needs to. I think he just does that. You know, but parody, like if you've ever read like a Time magazine where they do the caricatures of a celebrity or something on the cover, they don't have to get permission from that celebrity to do that, because it's a parody or satire. So and that's why I try to make mine sort of a humorous angle, just in case. And a lot of times, you know, what I'll do, like what I did with that one print I was talking about with the Freddy and Jason, they're walking away from you, so you just see the back of their head, so you're not seeing every detail, and you know, it's so it makes a little more of a gray area than it's.
Yeah.
But you know, so there is a difference. But you know, again, well, see, and there's also a difference because, like Jeff, when you sell your stuff, if you do a Boba Fett, if it's original art. I don't think there's an issue with selling original art. I think when you start doing the prints, that's when it becomes a gray area, or it becomes it's illegal. But then again, it's a real weird thing, and you just don't know how long it's going to go. Because right now, if you go to any comic convention, that's what most people are selling. That's what makes the most money, are like fan art prints and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's two ways to look at it. Part of it kind of drives the, you know, the awareness of that character, and it you know, builds the fans for that character, but then again, you know, I mean, it is depending on how you approach it, it is illegal if you're selling prints. You know, so it's.
I do think actually it doesn't matter that it's original art. I think it's the same thing. It's copyright infringement.
Yeah.
With celebrities, it's a little different. I do know, like, celebrities can't guard their likeness. That's why you see Marilyn Monroe and all that kind of stuff. Because you can't copyright your face, basically.
Yeah, all that's public domain once you make that step into stardom.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They can't say, Newsweek, you can't put my face on the front of your magazine, But it's also like anybody can sue you. So, that's just because you're right doesn't mean they ain't going to come after you. And I'm not saying I'm right.
Well, I mean, technically...
The thing with the original art and prints, let me just finish this bit. The original art and prints, and I see this all over the Artcasters thing where they're like, okay, if you're doing prints, it's illegal. If you're doing original art, it's fine. I mean, you may as well just put all that out there. It's not. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like where prints are wrong and original art is right. But there's also, like, with the copyright thing, where some guys have beat this kind of stuff is, like, artwork is like freedom of expression. You know what I mean? And some people have, like, went up against these guys. Like, one of them was, trying to remember his name. He's like a sports artist. The one against Tiger Woods. And it was Tiger Woods and also the Masters or something were suing him, saying that he can sell prints, not do the original art, sell prints of this piece he had done. And he fought him and beat him. And he beat him under the context of, like, this is my free expression. You can't tell me not to paint something. So I don't know, dude. I mean, I don't really like talking about it because I'm sure I'm wrong in so many ways.
Well, I'll have to look for it. On one of my on my other page, I've got a link.
Are you talking about that DeviantArt guy?
I think so.
Yeah, the lawyer from DeviantArt that got up there and basically said, "Don't draw Batman."
Well, he didn't necessarily say that, but yeah, pretty much. Or don't dress up as him as well.
Yeah. Dress up. Well, that's right. I mean, it's kind of, it goes all over the place. But, the thing is it's, they went after that guy that did the Obama poster, with the red face and the blue face. Yeah. And they got him, and they won. But they won because not because he, because to me, like, that's totally like an original piece. He didn't he might have painted a photo, but it looked completely different. That's an original piece of art. But the reason they beat him in court was because he lied about what photo he got, where he got the photo. He took the photo off some, photographer's press page or something like that, and he lied about it. So that's why he lost. And I don't know. Everybody, like, there's so many gray areas in this stuff, Yeah. That's why I hate when people get on the net and they proclaim well, technically it's illegal and stuff like that, because it's, you know what I mean, it's not. In a way, you read stuff on the net that says you can't paint like the front of Disney World in a painting and sell it because that's copyright infringement. You know what I mean? That's not true. It's just I don't know. But I did watch that video. It's a good video, but it's his pretense in that video, I noticed, is a lot like they can basically sue you for anything. You know what I mean?
Anybody can sue you for anything.
Right. You're going to have to fight if you paint Batman. And I would think that you could probably paint Batman and win, maybe, because of, being an artist, and it's, but I don't know. Who's going to do it?
But the thing is, I mean, it's not like I mean, it's one thing when you're making money hand over fist. It's another thing when you're still, just eking out a living. I feel like,
Well, are you?
Totally wrong, but...
No, you're probably right. And it's just, I mean, what gets me too is, like, it kind of. I was going to actually bring that up when we were talking about the sketch covers, Sid. Because it's kind of funny that they're printing, like, blank marble covers. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well,
Read it like
Marvel, DC, everybody's doing it.
Yeah. And I mean, like, what else are you going to draw in front of that except for one of their characters? So.
Yeah, and that was the whole intention of that, was so that you could draw their characters, or you could get your favorite artist at a con to draw their character on the book for you.
Yeah, totally.
And that way they're still making money off of it.
Yeah, they sold a comic book. It's got a blank cover. Now an artist can go ahead and do his thing on it and make his end of it, and without any repercussions from Marvel or DC or whichever company's putting them out.
And I'm curious. You never know. That might be their first step in stopping people from doing fan art. And if they can get these things out there enough where people are used to doing them, and then say, okay, well, here's the deal. You can do your fan art, but you have to buy our comics or buy our special BC approved Bristol board to do your pictures on or whatever. Yeah. And that way they can make money off of it. And I mean, makes sense for them to do that. So I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, I think a lot of times they turn a blind eye, but you don't know how long. It's just I don't know. There's such gray areas, and different people have different opinions. So that's kind of why, whether it's illegal or not, I'd like to, I guess just do my own thing and not worry too much about it if I can. But then again, people don't want to see what I have in my imagination. They want to see Batman and they want to see Superman and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, it's a catch-22. Like when I just never did any of this stuff until I started doing sketch cards. And then sketch cards are all about the movie art and stuff.
Yeah.
It just drew me into this world. Now it's like everybody that's all I do. But I was gonna ask, is your name Johans, or is that what it is?
Johannes.
Johannes. Okay.
Yeah, you can just call me Nessie.
Nessie. Okay. But I was just gonna ask, like, what kind of stuff do you paint? What kind of stuff are you planning on selling?
I've got a wide array of stuff. I mean, like I'm really into like the horror comics kind of thing, and then fantasy art. I don't even know how to really explain it.
Yeah.
The thing that I've gotten inside my head. You'll see it in a couple of weeks.
Cool.
For sure.
Are you thinking about doing any like the so-called fan art type pieces to sell? Because there's a market.
Yes.
So that's why you're asking. I never get that kind of question from anybody but artists. I don't know. But most fans just don't even notice. And the other thing is, I was just so blown away, honestly, when I started going to cons again, and just the amount of fan art that you're seeing. Mm-hmm. Like, that just wasn't there 10 years ago. Now it's like you got guys putting that stuff on T-shirts. You got guys that are just selling nothing but that in their prints, and it's just pretty crazy.
Yeah. What's the deal with the sketch cards? I mean, what is how are you selling those?
Well, I do sketch cards outside of the sketch card companies. If you want to work for the sketch card companies, what the deal is you get on these sets and they give you whatever 100 cards for some crazy low rate, like $1 a card or some ridiculous thing, and then they let you keep. I'm sorry, what?
Original? These are painted original.
No, they're all original. They're all a bunch of blank cards. They give you like 100 blank cards, and they say go to town on these cards, and you send them back, and they stick them in the packs, and they pay you $1 a piece for these things.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's insulting, I think. But anyway,
it's insane.
Anyway, they give you back like 3 or 4 cards, and this is why people still do it. Is like if you get on a Star Wars set or something, some of these cards, if you're like a good artist, I've seen them go for like $800-900. You know what I mean? Even more. I've seen one go for $1,500.
Okay.
But the thing is, like I don't do the sets. I don't do it that way. I got into doing the sketch cards, and once I saw the pay, I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
And there's a whole kind of cult of artists outside of that, or once again, like there's a fight between the guys that are on the sets and the guys that are outside of it, just doing their own sketch cards, But anyway, you can just do your own sketch cards and sell them and put them on eBay. And there's the collectors that are looking for the good stuff, and they'll buy them and they'll commission you and all that kind of stuff. And the reason they sell is because you write sketch card in the line on your eBay auction, and people type in sketch card and they do a search for sketch cards.
No, I mean, I just kind of like goof around in my own time doing whatever, There's like 1,000 of these things sitting around, but is there like a size to that, or?
Yeah, they got to be baseball card size, 2.5 by 3.5 inches. To be like a true sketch card. I actually do bigger ones. I'll say like they're double sketch card, they're triple sketch card, you know what I mean? But yeah, like the true sketch cards are 2.5 by 3.5 inches. And a lot of people get backs made. I don't know if I got any of mine around here.
We have a comment from Jeremiah Lambert, who's watching the video. It says, "I'm new to conventions the last 2 years, and I'm super into it now. It's a great way to make money too." Ha.
The sketch cards? Is that, I missed the part. What were you talking about? Sketch cards?
Is he talking about just going to cons? I think he was just talking about going to cons.
Yeah, just
going to
conventions, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw his comment.
Yeah, you've gotta be smart about conventions, because a lot of people just go in and they don't even go in thinking or wanting to make money. They just go in to break even. But I think you really want to. I would suggest really think ahead and figure out, the best things that can sell or whatever. Just because I don't think you should go into it wanting to make break even. I think you want to go into it making some sort of profit.
Screw that.
That's me.
Make some money.
Yeah. I mean,
These guys are like, I'm gonna get my table back and sell my prints for $1. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
But I was gonna say about the sketch cards is a lot of people have they either get printed sketch cards with the back on it. Was that a Peter sketch card that came up there?
No, it's like I'm just sketching.
Oh, I see. Very cool. Nice.
Wow, listening to everybody talking.
Yeah.
I can't. No, you can't see that. It's like a robot beating up a space monkey beating up a robot. Hey.
Your sketches are so finished, Scott. Like those other ones you were showing, in your video, I think, while you were drawing. I was like, God, that's like finished art right there.
Well, you know what I want? So you know what I want? Have you guys heard? And I don't. If we're still on sketch cards, we'll go back to it. But any of you guys follow Jake Parker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jake Parker, yeah.
Do you know about the art drop thing that he's doing? The world art drop.
Are you gonna do that?
Yeah. So what?
I watched a little bit of the video. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess he went on like a road trip across the U.S. or whatever, and each state he was in, he would drop a piece of artwork. He put it in like a plastic sleeve and hide it somewhere, and then blog about it or put on Instagram or whatever and give clues how to find it. But now he's trying. I think it's September 2nd. He wants everyone to do this for one day and hide artwork and then have people try to find it. So that sounds cool to me. So I want to do that. So I'm going to do some sketches and I'm going to do that and just see what happens. You see, I'm curious if people that if some random person will find it, or if somebody might actually, if I blog about it, if somebody will find it. But it seemed like a really cool idea, so I want to do some sketches to do that. But,
yeah, I've been debating whether I should do it or not. I don't know. Are you going to do it, Peter? I'm scared that nobody's going to care.
Yeah, on the video, they
somebody
mentioned that, yeah, what if I put it out there and nobody picks it up and it's 20 years later and it just gets thrown in the garbage or
Yeah, because I don't know, I just got into this thing and I had this weird thing because I was on vacation. I just came back from Vegas, and so before we left, I was going to leave a tip for the housekeeper, which I did, but I also drew a little sketch of Rosie from the Jetsons with the little feather duster, and just left it there with $5, and they might not care about it, but they might like it. It just to me it's like, you never know, and I'll never know what happens. But then I was thinking it would be cool just to do that with random people, because I saw there was a guy shining shoes, and I was thinking Underdog with Shoe Shine Boy or whatever, but I wasn't going to get my shoe shine because I just had Converse All-Stars. So, but yeah, I thought it was cool just to have little characters that had to do with whatever people's occupations were or something like that. But
that's
these are things because I just got so inspired by all these great ideas, because Jake Parker started this art drop thing. I thought that was such a brilliant idea, and so I'm trying to think of other things that people could do and it would catch on like that, but. I don't know.
I wonder if it will catch on. I saw that video, and now I'm curious. But
I'm sure it will. He started that Inktober, where in October people do a month of just ink drawings, and that took off like crazy. And he's got 1 billion followers or something like that. So I'm sure it'll catch on.
It might be a good way to, promote your stuff.
Yeah,
If you're in the pile of those, whatever, Twitter hashtags.
Yeah, if you hashtag it, then maybe it's the same thing with like the Inktober. When you hashtag Inktober, I mean, people start to see your stuff. Because I did a couple of the Inktober things and hashtagged it, and I had people like favoriting it on like Instagram that I had never heard of that don't follow me or whatever. So you never know. I mean, like I said before, just whatever you can do, just get as much stuff out there as possible and see what happens.
Totally.
Do an Inktober video.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do it, Peter? You're gonna put some art out somewhere?
Can I put it in the middle of the highway and see if it?
You don't want to kill anyone.
Just put like a sketch card, tie it to a balloon and let it go.
That's good. See, that's a good idea. I like that. Because people used to do that. We used to do that at school. I remember they had a bunch of balloons and people would write a message or something and just send it off. I like that idea. I might steal that.
And that thing probably would get found too.
I'll send you my PayPal account.
You put.
If you find this, please pay for it.
My girlfriend got one of those Oriental lanterns that like shoot up into the sky like really far. Stick some artwork on that and like see what happens.
Do those things
light those on fire?
What's that?
I just said, don't they light those things on fire though?
Yeah, it's like it's a candle inside of a real like a tissue. Good God, I had one of those in. I was in the middle of Iraq in Mosul, and we had something coming in, and we had. You would not believe how panicked the whole base got trying to find that thing, and that's what it was. It was one of those little prayer balloons with a tea light candle in it, with a tissue paper gondola on it, or I mean the balloon part on it, and it ended up landing on the base, and forget it, we had every security team out looking at what the heck was launched on us. It was ridiculous.
I saw those. I've seen the lanterns before, and then I saw it on Tangled. I think they sent a whole bunch of in that movie, and I didn't. Does it? But they really do work. So is it like a hot air balloon type?
Yeah, they totally work. They also set trees on fire really well.
Yes, they do. That's how we found it.
You have to do it in an open area.
Arizona.
Over the ocean. I don't know. It might be fun. It'd be worth doing just to see. Gives you an idea to do a video one day. You don't have to think of something for one day.
Oh, good God! You know what? That's actually. I think I'm going to do that. I got a couple of sketch cards that I did a long time ago. I think I'm going to do that. Put one in a little plastic sandwich baggie and tie it to a balloon and just let that sucker go and do a video about it.
I want to do it too. You mind if I do it too?
No, absolutely. Join in. The more the merrier.
Go ahead.
The wind's blowing towards Albuquerque though, so I can get it.
I saw a commercial for like there's these giant like I guess blow up fish that run like remote control planes. It's very slow moving and I think it's pretty much silent. But they're kind of big. You just tape some artwork to that and like remote control it to somebody and see if they can take the artwork over.
Do drone drops with artwork.
Drone drops.
Don't do it over the military base.
How do you ask for your drone back?
Yeah. I guess that's one way. At least if you set it off on a balloon, if there's just you don't know what happened to it, so it probably got found or not. You don't have to worry about it not getting found.
Put your website on it, and hopefully maybe they'll contact you and say, "I found this." You never know.
Yeah, like in school,
yeah, throw a card in the bag or something.
Do like a letter or something. Like if you find this, mail it back to me. Or not mail the art back, but mail me so that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Yeah, I don't know. That's just a big old like promotion thing for Jake Parker, though. So he's got us talking about him.
Yeah, well, I mean but that's why we got to think of ideas. That's
right.
Why Sid's going to do the balloon thing.
Gotta do that in the winter so we don't light the country on fire.
I'm not talking about the lantern. I'm just talking about like a mylar balloon or a helium balloon or something.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure if they mentioned this in the video or it was an idea I had or whatever, but like just you know, go to the library and stick some artwork in a book.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
just
well,
eventually somebody's going to pick it up and have some artwork.
Yeah,
Just find a book that no one's really reading. So like it's one of those happen chance, like maybe Hillary Clinton's new book.
Then you do like a summer steamy romance book.
Well, you probably want wherever the artwork is, you want the book to somehow fit into that same genre. So.
Yeah, then maybe get a fan, like a actual fan of the thing. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's really grassroots.
Yeah, really.
Putting artwork in books.
Just flyer the library with your stuff, every book, with a postcard drop out of it.
I'm headed straight down there tomorrow morning. Are you kidding me? That's a great idea.
And then you could also like put a coupon for like half off of your comic book or something.
That might, I'm sure that might be a problem because that's probably, I'm sure there's some kind of law against that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this should be.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to let you guys go. I get a kid to get off to school in the morning.
Okay.
But I
See you,
had fun.
Sid.
All right.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah.
Nice to
Thanks.
meet you,
Good night,
man.
guys.
Take it
Nice
easy.
meeting you all. Am I off? I'm not even off yet. Good Lord. How do I do this? Hang on.
I think there's a little red phone button or something.
Yeah, you gotta go up to the
There's
top.
a red phone.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Oh.
Hang on. I got it.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I could always eject you.
That's Bannon.
I don't know you that well.
All right, so
Oh, eject. Gotcha.
Oh, man.
That's deleted quick.
all right. Yeah, ejected.
Are you guys hearing that thunder in the back of my thing? It's like monsoon season here, and it's like a while back there's like super loud one. It was just like my dog went nuts and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not picking it up.
No, that's good.
We don't have monsoons here, but we're getting rain.
Yeah, it's weird. Like we got a little rain, but usually it's just lightning and thunder and wind, and sometimes rain, but mostly just thunderstorms.
Yeah, it's been raining a lot up here, too. I don't know. It's just a wet year, I guess.
Where are you at?
Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are closer.
Yeah.
You're down here somewhere, right? You're like Phoenix
Yeah.
or something?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Arizona, Phoenix, just a little outside of Phoenix.
I'm going to drive down there and get your artwork. Where are you going to put that thing?
Oh, it's going to be a drive. I'd hate for you to drive all the way out and for it to be gone.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'll post on whatever, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. And here, I want to do maybe 2 or 3 of them just to see, because double my luck, I'm just curious if I'll get a response if anyone will find it or whatever. It's just I don't know. I want to try it out.
Yeah, no, it's a cool idea.
Yeah, I wish I thought of it, but
Damn, Jake Parker.
yeah.
He's not rich enough yet, so.
Not rich enough. Does he do any published stuff, or is he just like a webcomics phenomenon?
Oh, he does a bunch of children's books, and he's published his own comics, and
What is it? Mouse Missile?
Missile Mouse. Missile
Missile
Mouse. And then
yeah,
I think he illustrates
a
books
friend of
for
mine
other authors.
picked it up for his kid years ago. Yeah.
Cool.
But he does have his webcomic now. I forget what it's called, but good looking stuff.
Yeah, I always like his stuff. It's real fun and cute, and got a lot of robots and stuff. Like, yeah, I dig his stuff.
Hey Scott, are you on Patreon too, or no?
No, I talked about that before. I just think I need to
sure.
build a fan base. But one thing I was thinking I'd like to do, and I don't know, I might have to do some kind of a digital thing. But I remember as a kid they had like these fan clubs, and you get like your little decoder ring and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'd like to do something tiers like that, but not like a fan of me. I'd like to make it maybe a fan, like create a character and become a fan of this character or the book or something like that, and then you become a fan of that particular property, and then if I could figure out a way, something that if I can do it U.S. and then it might be more for worldwide or whatever, but something I could put in a regular letter, something small like either buttons or sketch cards or something that I can send out inexpensively and try to just create some different tiers and do something fun. But if I do it, I really want to put some thought into it and have it kind of like a cool kind of like fan club type thing for something. I don't know, but that's just my thoughts right now.
Yeah, that's a neat idea. I like that a lot.
I still think I need to have a bigger fan base before I do it, because I mean I could do it and maybe I might be able to make like $8 or $10 a month. I mean a month, but I don't know. It just seems like
Yeah, for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Buttons
It's
are
what Marvel
buttons are
used to
cheap
do.
enough. So I mean, you can get a couple hundred of them made for not that much.
What's
And
that?
Buttons, they're cheap enough. You can have them made for might as well just start it. Anything's an incentive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it would take time to set it all up right now. I've got to find the time to do that, because I'd want it to. I know I'd want to do a cool video for the intro thing, and I'd want to, again, I'm real big on presentation, so I'd want it to look really enticing, I guess, before I just throw something up there. So I want to do it eventually, and I think Patreon's young enough that there's so many things I wish I would have jumped on sooner, with especially like Kickstarter or whatever, and I think it helps to be an early adopter of certain things, but you never know what's going to take off and what's not. But I think Patreon's just kind of now gaining popularity and might be something to actually do. It's just another thing I've got to figure out how to do it. So.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good idea to kind of think it out, because I wish I would have, thought mine out a little better.
Yeah.
And I actually, kind of redid all mine, like after about a month in, once I kind of figured it out, like a lot of the stuff about it.
And
I've seen a couple Kickstarters. There was one guy I follow. He's a T-shirt artist, but he did this whole. It was just a really nice campaign that he ran for a Kickstarter, and it was all like real inexpensive stuff, like prints and things like that. But there was time that went into the design. But it was like I forgot what it was called, but it was like a zombie. I don't know how to fight zombies, or he did this poster of all these different weapons and stuff that you could fight zombies, and he had like little, I don't know, badges, like it was almost, I don't know how to explain it, like a zombie fighting organization or something like that. But everything was tied in with the graphic design, and it looked real nice. But it was all prints and buttons and inexpensive things, but the presentation looked so great that it was something that I wanted to contribute to, but at the time I just didn't, I either didn't have the money or didn't get around to it. But something like that I'd like to do if I do a Patreon or something, and
Cool.
And I'd want to offer something too, because I know a lot of people that do Patreon, they'll have things on there that are free, and then some things there's more incentives and things like that. So I like the freemium model where you can get certain things for free, but then you can upgrade with if you really want to show your support and everything. So.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, I did that Patreon thing that, or like the Kickstarter that guy was doing, the zombie one. What was it for? Was it actually just for the prints and to make the club or
Well, he
something?
had posters. The guy's done a couple. I forgot what his name was. I know he does a lot of stuff on T Fury and things like that. So that's where I found him. But it was just really. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. His company's called Zombie Dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what that comes from, but maybe if you Google Zombie Dollar, you might be able to find it. Let me see if I can Google it and see if it comes up. But he does really cool stuff, and he just put together this zombie type.
Yeah.
Is it a comic book?
No, it wasn't a comic. Just prints and buttons, and like I said, relatively inexpensive stuff. I mean, it took him time to design it and everything, but
that's cool.
It was
cool if you can like run a Kickstarter, just get a bunch of money, and then you don't have to do anything with it.
Right.
Like, yeah, just fund my goal stuff. Like that. Screw the webcomic thing.
Zombie Dollar Creative. That's his Facebook page. It's so far back, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of his posts lately because it's probably because the way Facebook's doing their thing.
Yeah, if you don't like something, there's.
Oh, here. So. Okay, I'm seeing it here. It's just a bit. So there's like a big poster. It says Death Watch USA.
Throw the link into the chat.
What's that?
Throw the link into the chat so we can.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can click. Oh, this is a big giant link because it's like to the actual thing. Let me find.
Copy and paste.
In the chat. Oh, in the chat on. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
No, just tell us every letter and number.
Okay, here we go. All right. This is just a link to the Facebook page. So if you click on that, you can kind of see. Okay, so that's the poster, and then you have stuff that went with it. You see it?
It's pretty neat.
But there's a whole thing that went into it. There's buttons and like little campaign posters and all this different stuff. But
that took time. That's you know.
Oh yeah, at the time. Yeah. I mean, there's value in it, but I'm talking about as far as the physical money that went into printing, and it's not a lot. It's not like it's all stuff that anyone can do, like print posters or print buttons and things like that. But it kind of looked like sort of everything tied into that theme, and it was like it was kind of like it almost gave me that vibe of like a fan club type deal. So I'd like to do something similar to that for like a Patreon, but I don't know what I want to do yet. Anyway.
That's cool.
Right.
Have you ever ran a Kickstarter, Peter?
No, and
not yet.
I would love to do something simplistic, not to grab everybody's money, but just to test the waters.
Yeah.
And because I want to do one for the first issue of Retro, and that's going to be something more involved. But I would like just to do something, I don't know, simple and fun that everybody benefits. But I haven't thought of anything, so.
Yeah.
Here, I'm going to give you guys another link here. This is another one that he did, and this shows you a little more here.
And part of it, part of the idea of just doing something simple is to test the waters, because I know, like, you could see how many friends are connected with you on Kickstarter, but I want to see how many would actually participate in something I got going on.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. What's this?
If you guys click on the other links, you'll see. So this is another thing he did, and this kind of shows all the different things. But there's like a button, and just like some business cards he printed, and then a little manual.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But that's the kind of stuff I'm thinking of doing.
Yeah.
This one's just different weapons from different movies. There's lightsabers, and
Yeah.
Well, Scott, you remember like
it's a great little idea.
I guess like the 70s and 80s at Mall Wall, they used to have the Mighty Marvel Marching, I don't know, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
like fan club, and they have stickers and just goofy stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you can print. I mean, you can print a bunch of that up for cheap, and you can, as long as it's, I guess, if it's in the U.S. for the price of a postage stamp. Of course, if people are only donating $1 a month, you know, and if you're sending something out for, if it costs 50 cents to mail something out, then you're not making. But I mean, like I said, you have to make different tiers or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Get that up a little higher. Yeah.
There's got to be some way to do it, and yeah, because I mean, if you can get people to, if you can offer more, and if you can get somebody to donate $5 a month, but offer them something, you know, I don't know. I don't know if that's, maybe I'm shooting too high. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you make different tiers, it's just basically whatever, you know, people can afford or whatever. I don't know.
There was something not too long ago, and it was sort of like you subscribe to a monthly gift box, and you know, it was whatever, $25 a month, and you get a box, and it's full of different things, and it's like, it's sort of worth $25, but because I guess, you know, they had a whole bunch of people who subscribed, and you know, to make this stuff was cut in half or even better.
What was that on?
There's a lot of companies that do that now.
Yeah.
There's like the granola. There's a like health food snacks where they'll send you a box of health, like different like granolas. It's just a pack. I forgot. There's a couple different companies that do that. And then there was something called, I think it was like Nerd Box or something like that.
Nerd Box, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll just send you, like Peter said, for like $25. They'll send a little, you know, and I'm sure it's whatever you can fit in one of those, you know, there's one price.
Boxes or something?
Yeah, one price box or whatever, mail, or they probably got some special deal through, you know, because they're a company and everything. But yeah, so I guess it's probably just stuff they can, you know, it's like a mystery box. So there might be some real cool stuff, or maybe it's just stuff they've got, you know, a big surplus of that people can't get rid of, and it's just nerdy stuff, and it's kind of cool because it's like, and it's not something I would do, but I can see the attraction because it's like, every month you get this box in the mail, and it's like, oh, cool, what's in it? Let's find out, you know. So
yeah.
I don't know.
So
That's kind of a big thing. It's almost like I think Dollar Shave Club is kind of similar to that, you know. But that's a big thing that's going on right now. A lot of companies are doing that business model.
Yeah.
We should do an Artcasters box. And
Nice.
We'll send DVDs of all our Artcasts. Or just a link.
The extended cut, an extra 2 hours on each one.
all the footage that got thrown to the floor.
Right. I think it does kind of work giving away some stuff, like on Patreon and stuff, because so many of the Patreon campaigns, they just don't give anything. Everything's digital.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, yeah,
even though it's kind of a pain to mail stuff.
Tier or whatever could be something digital, you know. But then I don't know. It's like I said, it's kind of in the back of my mind. I don't know if I'll ever get around to it or not.
Yeah. You can always give away like brushes that you create, or
yeah, I mean stuff like that. There's all kinds of ideas and things. So I don't know. Yeah, but I haven't created. I don't know how to create brushes. I do, but I just never do. But yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, if that's your audience, you know, and that's what they're into, definitely.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what I do with a brush, but especially one I can't paint with. But.
You'd mainly just be aggravated with it because it doesn't look like a real brush.
Where's the handle?
I saw something not long ago on Facebook about I forget what brand of brush it was, but
what are you talking about? Well, go ahead.
It was a German-made brush, I think, and they wouldn't ship them to the U.S. because they thought it was horsehair or something.
Hmm.
It was horsehair. I thought it was okay to have horsehair brushes.
It's like the Da Vinci brush, I think it was, wasn't it?
I think it was with a K. I forget the name of the brush though. But I don't know if that was an ongoing problem or it was just at that time. It wasn't too long ago. It might have been last week that I saw the post.
Do they have a problem with horsehair brushes? That surprises me because I'm sure you can find hog hair and sable and everything else at the art store.
Well, it was through customs, and sometimes things just get jammed up and they change their mind the day after. I don't know if it was an ongoing problem, but I just saw that one post about it, and I wasn't concerned because it wasn't the brush I used. So.
Right. Not the old number 5 Winsor Newton Kolinsky sable one.
I think it was Kolinsky.
Was it?
That might have been the brush type, but I'm not so sure. I think it was specifically a brush used by comic book inkers.
So you actually use those? The Kolinsky sable ones, Peter?
I use
That's surprising. Oh, you do?
Newton.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah, all the inker guys I know around here, they're all about those. I know what you're talking about now because I do remember that. Some stuff going down with those brushes.
Yeah.
Everybody's freaking out about it.
I think I used it at one point, and yeah, they are good. They are really good.
Yeah.
I just couldn't find them, so I didn't waste my time.
They're hard to get. A friend of mine turned me on to them, and he gave me one of his old ones. That thing lasted forever, but it's like, God, too much of a hassle to get those things.
Yeah, I take what's immediately available everywhere.
I know. I just got inside buy like the super cheap ones that just wear out in a week, and then just go buy another one the next week. I don't know.
Yeah, well, painting's different though. I'm sure, like, you don't have to get a fine brush. You just need something to slap paint down with.
Right. Although a little more than that, but yeah, you're right though. It's not as intense as like inking with a brush. So.
Yeah. So I'm thinking we should roll down a little and cut this off.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm getting tired. I gotta wake up early anyway, so.
Did you pick up your kids? What was the story on that?
Yeah, well, so I got back from Vegas, and I didn't know if I was supposed to keep them tonight or whatever. So I ended up I did, but I guess I had the time off by an hour. So I was thinking, well, I have to go get them, and then I didn't want to have to get them in the middle of the podcast or the Artcast, but I thought I have to, and then I found out that then my ex-wife wanted me to get them earlier. I'm like, okay, well then I'll just go get them, and then I'll just be a little late. But I was off by an hour anyway, so it didn't really end up mattering.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're all asleep. My daughter, the youngest, she went to sleep earlier because she had a long weekend. But my boys, I think they just went to bed now. But I don't know, they stay up pretty late and they get up by themselves and get off to school by themselves. So as long as they keep doing that, it's fine with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw one pass by before.
Yeah.
All right.
So, what do you want to be called again? Johannes?
His name. Oh.
What's your nickname?
I'm going now. No, you can just call me Nessie.
Nessie.
Views. Yeah, like the monster.
Oh, okay.
Is there a story behind that, or if it takes too long, I might be too tired to hear it? But
there is really no story behind it.
Okay.
Okay. That's what you want to be called, then Nessie. Great meeting you, and hope you can come around again.
No, yeah, I'll definitely be involved. This is really cool. You guys are a wealth of knowledge, and I really appreciate the help. Very cool.
Yeah, come show your stuff at the Artcasters group if you're not already in there. Whenever you get some stuff going.
Yeah, no, I'm in there, but I'll start throwing some stuff up shortly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking about getting involved in the we got the Star Wars thing going on this month. I know it's getting towards the end of the month, but still.
Yeah,
So
get
trying to
one
throw
in there.
something in there.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna
Yeah,
put
I
all
got
those
two pieces.
in the video here too. So you too, Peter.
Yep. I got a piece in
You
mind.
too, Scott, if you want to. You got time.
Yeah, the last two I've done were just me kind of on vacation. I'm trying to upload one right now, but after that, once I start getting back into the actual comic book, then I'll upload some. So if it's actual content that I think people care about that's relevant. So
Drop me a Boba Fett so you can hide it when I come down there. Get it.
okay, maybe I'll have to figure out a way to. I wonder if there's I could just get that drone thing to work.
Yeah,
Drop
then
it by your house.
All right. All right.
All right.
I might have a Boba Fett fan art somewhere that I could just.
Hey, I want the original. You can't just pawn off some old piece that you drew like 10 years ago.
Well, it's still original. I might have sold it actually to commit. Boba Fett seems to sell pretty well, so I may have sold it. I did.
I'm going to do a piece that nobody else will be doing. I won't say until I have it done, but I haven't seen anybody do what I have in mind, and maybe it's outside what you were thinking, but
Okay.
I got something in mind.
All right. Cool.
All right.
So,
Thanks, guys.
thanks everyone for coming, and you have watched Artcasters Chat 4.
Yeah.
We'll
See you guys.
Take it easy.
Take care.
Bye, Peter.
Bye.
Later. I'm gonna
Later.
go crash now.